Whether you're buying, selling, or just keeping an eye on the market, real estate in the Seattle region is always changing. Today, taking a closer look at what's happening right now is what we're doing, and highlighting a key few neighborhoods you may want to have on your radar. Real estate agent Emily Anderson joins us. Emily, thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I think real estate is one of those things that everybody's talking about. It can be very stressful. Talk about some of the most common mistakes that first-time home buyers make.
Gosh, there are so many. My goal is always to educate up front. So one of the very first things that people don't do is they don't try to learn about the process before they jump in. So they often come to me and they say, I found my dream home, but they have nothing set in place to make that happen.
All I got is a dream right now.
Exactly, it's all a dream. So I'm like, let's back up, let's go through the process, learn about the steps, and make sure that we have all of our ducks in a row. Because if you don't, it's just a setup for heartbreak.
And I know this is something that you have gone through all of this. I know another thing you mentioned besides that, not being pre-approved. Why is that so important?
Oh my gosh, so you can't submit an offer to purchase a home without a pre-approval. And a lot of people will come to me ready to buy, but they don't have any of their money in order. They don't know where anything is. They might be past due on bills. Their credit score might need a repair. There's tons of things, and we can work with all of that, but we need a little bit more lead time, right? So, yeah.
Hold up, not so fast, pump the brakes. And rushing, what do you mean by that? Because, you know, it's like you see your dream home, and it's like, I am ready, I want it right now.
Exactly, they are all gas, no brakes, and we really have to make sure that you have everything aligned, because sometimes your expectations are unrealistic. A lot of the time, if you're using an online mortgage calculator and then you actually talk to a lender, you learn that the reality is very different than the expectations.
Those interest rates are different than what you saw there, and then it's like, hold up, I thought this was going to be $4,000. What do you mean $6,500?
Exactly, and your interest rate will depend on your borrower profile, so you can't really use the generic rate presented because it's based on you.
One other thing, finding a home before having an agent. Why is that an important step?
I think working with an agent that you know, like, and trust is so important, because oftentimes I'm telling you kind of bad news or just difficult news. And you want to trust me and believe that I have your best interest at heart. But if you're just working with someone you found online, you don't really have that rapport built. So it's really, really hard to take all their advice and go with them hand in hand. So finding an agent, making sure you're a good fit, interview a couple people, it's always a good idea to start that way.
Sure, and then it's like, you know that this is someone that, okay, I know Emily's going to go to bat for me. She's going to have the conversations that I don't really want to have, and kind of cuts out all of the extra noise.
Figure out my negotiating style, figure out if you think I'm annoying. Like, we don't want to be working together for months, right? Like, you want an agent you really like.
Right, somebody you enjoy talking to. So when we think about, you know, the market, a lot of us want to jump right into a house or a townhome, but you say condos, that's something we shouldn't just, you know, throw away right now. Exactly.
So many people are condo haters, and I think there's a lot of misconceptions about what condos are. The homeowners association, people always think it's some like omnipresent evil entity, but it's just your neighbors. It's you and your neighbors agreeing on rules that are going to help you guys succeed. There's the lifestyle condo owners, who are people who love to be downtown. They want to be in a high rise. They want the view of the sound, and they're willing to pay a little bit more of a premium for that. And then there's people who are using a condo as a stepping stone into homeownership, and that's going to be a very different conversation up front than somebody who's looking to be in a townhome or a condo for the rest of their lives.
Right. So I guess that's the thing to think about before deciding who would be the right and the wrong person for a condo.
Yeah, it's all expectations.
And speaking of condos, you mentioned like somebody wanting the high rise, and I feel like a lot of us just think about just those modern, you know, real sleek type of, I don't know, Iron Man for less like a better
modern
example.
Penthouse.
Yeah, exactly.
No personality.
But some of them aren't like that.
Yes.
You can find some historic ones.
So there's a lot of really cool programs in Seattle where companies like Historic Seattle will be stewards of a property, taking it from a historic building, landmark status, and then making it into a condo. So there's a lot of cool fire stations and old high school buildings and things like that are really, really interesting opportunities.
Right, and then you think about some of that architecture, that would be really nice. When we think about neighborhoods not to be ignored, you said Ballard now. hot spot.
Always a hot spot. I love Ballard for so many people, and so many people that really, really love Ballard can also find similar things at maybe more affordable price points if they're willing to expand their horizons.
Okay.
So like West Seattle is one of my favorite places.
Oh, nice.
That has really similar feel to Ballard. It has kind of a little bit more beachy energy. It's very neighborhoody. You are a little bit harder to get to than some other parts of Seattle, but still just, a 15-minute drive into town. So it's perfect and a little bit cheaper over there.
All right, so a nice entry point, then jumping straight into Ballard.
Yeah, exactly.
And outside of Seattle, really quick, you said don't sleep on Shoreline.
Yes. Yes.
Shoreline is cute, though.
Shoreline is cute. Shoreline is pretty dang affordable compared to a lot of other places. You can often get more bang for your buck. Your money goes further, which everyone always loves. And it's easy to get in and out. You've got I-5, you've got Aurora. We're getting light rail options. It's a really great spot to be if you don't need to be downtown.
Okay, well, Emily, thank you so much for coming by,
thank you for
sharing
having
your
me.
wisdom, because home buying can be so stressful. So I feel like even talking to you, it's like, okay, we can do this.
Absolutely. I've got it. I've done it so many times. I just did it for myself, and we can figure it out.
All right. We appreciate you.